make no mistake, we're going to be in ongoing battles with Iran and the Middle East for decades. Not days, not weeks, not months, for decades. America and the world can no longer depend on OPEC or Iran to be able to provide the oil and gas that the world needs. We need Texas providing that oil and gas, not just for America, but for the entire world. And make no mistake about something else, about how important this race is times two. One, in the primary. His primary opponent doesn't know anything about oil and gas. His agenda would wreck the miracle that we have in producing more oil and gas than ever before. By the way, more oil and gas than what Iran produces. We need Jim Wright to be reelected to continue to lead that way. Second, anyone here who does not think the elections in November are going to be close is severely misguided and wrong. All of these elections are going to be close in November. And if we were to have a leftist, pro-green agenda elected to be on the Railroad Commission in charge of our oil and gas industry, it would destroy Texas, it would destroy America, it would destroy the world. We cannot let that happen. I need Deer Park to show up big and to support Jim Wright for re-election as your Railroad Commissioner. Speaking of which, I mean, why would anybody in Deer Park not vote for Briscoe Cain? This is your hometown candidate. But it's more important than that. What you truly need is somebody who's going to be your voice, who represents your values in Washington, D.C. There's nobody better equipped to do that than Briscoe Cain. When Briscoe decided to run, which I gotta be honest with you, I was very disappointed because Briscoe was getting a whole lot done in the Texas legislature. He was one of my go-to Republicans in the Texas House of Representatives when I needed something really accomplished. And so, to be honest, I consider it to be a big-time loss that he's leaving the Texas legislature. However, the loss we have in Texas can and must be a gain for the United States of America and the United States Congress. Some people ask me, why are you voting for or supporting? I wish I could vote for him. Who knows? Maybe I will. But why do I support Briscoe as opposed to his opponent? I mean, candidly, it was very, very easy. But I've known Briscoe. I've worked with Briscoe. And one thing I know about Briscoe is he delivers results. Yep. He's not a talker, he's a doer. And we are a time when we need doers in Washington, D.C. Briscoe's not going to go to D.C. to get along. He's going to D.C. to get things done for Deer Park, for the state of Texas, and for the United States of America. So please go to the polls in the biggest kind of way. Listen, there are other areas of this congressional district where there may be higher turnout for his opposition. I know the pride that Deer Park has in your community. I know the pride that you have for members of your community. You need to tap into your pride and not only make sure that you turn out to vote, but every single person in this room, every single person in Deer Park needs to understand that you have the ability to move the needle and elect one of your very own. So go to the polls, go get your friends to go vote, and vote Briscoe Cain. I said Briscoe Cain, and it was not a misnomer. Briscoe is going to be a pain in the neck to pick a body part. A pain in the neck for the Democrats, for the rhinos, For anybody who gets in the way of getting things done in Washington, D.C., they're going to call Briscoe Payne really quick. And listen, the same thing goes with Stan Stannard.
Come on.
Stan Stannard, listen, again, people wonder, why did I support Stan Stannard? Well, for one, listen, I've known Stan for, 2, 3, 4 decades, it seems like. Stan also is a guy who delivers to make sure that we're going to have great representation, definitely with regard to elections. Speaking of elections, remember this, because there was a lot of things that we passed this last session they don't get spoken about enough because there were so many big things that we accomplished. One thing that we accomplished that is essential to elections, we accomplished what the United States Senate will refuse to accomplish in Texas. We passed a law saying that only United States citizens will vote in the elections in the state of Texas. That's something that Stan Stannard, as you know, strongly supports, but it doesn't stop there. When Stan gets to Austin, Texas, he's going to be working probably more effectively than anybody else to make sure we have the toughest and the strongest election integrity laws of any state in the United States of America. But it's far more important than that because, listen, I know that the people of Deer Park, the people of Harris County, listen, you got values that expand far beyond just election integrity. There's a lot of things you want, a lot of things you need to have done. And there's no better person to deliver on those results than Stan Stannard. Go out and vote for Stan Stannard. And then, of course, listen, we got Cindy Siegel. Listen, Cindy Siegel. She's been a terrific leader, delivering results. I mean, there's one thing more important than anything else for a county Republican Party leader, and that's to, talk about our issues, which I'm going to come back to in a second. But the thing they must deliver upon is electing more Republicans, and that's exactly what she's done. Election after election, more and more Republicans have been elected, and she has Harris County on the right pathway where we are going to turn Harris County red in 2026. But whether it be for Cindy, Stan, Briscoe, whether it be Jim Wright, whatever the case may be, listen, there's a lot of issues at stake in this election. Keeping Texas the #1 energy state, but let's drill down to just a couple of issues. There's such a vast contrast between Republicans and Democrats. And what we got to do is to tap into that. This election, make no mistake, in November is going to be extraordinarily close. All you got to do is go back and take a look at what the election happened in the last time Donald Trump was in a midterm election. That's when Beto got within 2 percentage points of beating Ted Cruz. Republicans lost about 10 seats in the Texas House, 2 seats in the Texas Senate, many seats in the Texas congressional delegation, and statewide elections were very close. Let me tell you something. This election this year is going to be far tougher, far closer than it was in the last midterm election for Donald Trump. We need every single person to be involved in the election. And there's 2 things that matter most in your minds and what you're going to be doing over the next 5.5 months. What happens in 5.5 months, and that's exactly when early voting is going to be taking place. The time to get ready for this election cycle is not next month, not July or August, or not when early voting begins. The time to get ready is right now. And we've got 2 things that you guys need to know about as we get ready. 2 things that will matter the most when it comes to these elections. Number 1 is a very simple word: contrast. We're going to show the contrast between what Republicans have stood for, what Republicans have voted for, what Republicans have done, versus what Democrats have stood for, voted for, and done. Easy example, but I'm going to spread it broader than that. You know the crazy things that Tallarico has said.
Yeah.
Just based upon the things he said alone disqualifies him for running for office. However, no one's talking about his voting record. His voting record is the same thing as the other Democrats running for office in all these statewide positions. These are radical leftist Democrats who make Tim Walz look normal. They're trying to copy that crazy Mandami guy from New York City. So let me just tell you, for example, what they stand for. They stand for boys and girls sports. They voted for boys and girls sports. They voted to have children transition their sex from one sex to another. This is outrageous. Texans do not support that ideology. They voted to defund our police. This is not Minneapolis. This is Texas. And in Texas, we support our law enforcement officers. They supported Joe Biden's open border policies. They supported taking away your Second Amendment rights. There's so much at stake in this election. It has to get you off the couch and go vote. Second, if all we did was to get everybody in this room to go vote, that would be a step in the right direction. But I got to tell you, it is not going to be enough. We got to do far more than that. We need everybody in this room to be a power broker yourselves. Everybody in this room can and must assume the responsibility of getting more than 100 people to go vote. Well, how do you do that? How do you go about doing that? I've made it easier than ever before to make sure that at a minimum, you will be able to turn 100 people out to go vote. And it's called the Abbott Impact app.
It works.
Who just said that it works? Come up here. Come up here.
Go on, John.
Hey guys, in the back, we're going to have what you call a testimonial. So this is John right here, and as I was talking about the Abbott Impact app, he said it works. And so I know I'm putting you on the spot.
All right.
But I want you to tell the crowd exactly how and why it works.
Sure thing. So you can actually contact your local neighbors off your phone. It uses the contacts on your phone. It uses AI.
Can't hear you.
It uses AI as I configure to contact the people on your phone. Yeah, I'm not used to talking on this.
Very good, John.
Bear with me. So,
Right next to your mouth.
all right. So you can put your name and number in the app. Like a precinct chair like I am, it's in 62. Anyway, so you put it in there, and it contacts all the people around you. Well, it brings all their information to you where you can compile it, look at it, see who you want to contact. Send a message to them with just a click. Just with your finger. You can sit on your couch. That's not what I was going to say. You can sit on your couch and just click right down your contact list. Send them a letter or sort of pre-print it out. Put your name in it. Zip. And you just contacted 10 people, 15 people, 25 people in a matter of seconds. It's really about the easiest thing you can do. See a little scan thing right yonder? You click that in your phone, you download the app, you put your information in, it takes a couple minutes, and next thing you know, you're pointing and clicking, and you're contacting your friends, your family, your neighbors, and it doesn't take any time at all. You can set it up on your phone, and I'm not kidding, in about 5 minutes, you're on point. Usually you have to go walk around with Briscoe and knock on doors. And it took a little while, and people give you the bad responses and whatnot, but you march on. But with this, man, you delete the bad responses. Hello. I need you to call somebody. I need you to knock on the door. Do you want to sign? It works. Just scan that, and before you know it, you're in business. You got your 1, your 2, your 100, like Mr. Abbott said, and you're on point, and we win.
So that was awesome, and I got to tell you, I get similar testimonies from everybody who's used it. But let me add one thing that he didn't explain to you, because there's another thing that goes on when you plug into the Abbott Impact app. It provides to you whether or not your friends, your neighbors, or your contacts, whether or not they've actually voted in early voting. So here's the point. You should try this out right now, today, all the way through early voting, as preparation for what's going to happen in October. Because you will find out today whether or not somebody, your friend, your neighbor, maybe your spouse, whether or not they have voted or not. And you're going to be able to immediately send a text to them and say, hey friend, I noticed you haven't voted yet. Are you going to go vote tomorrow? And are you going to vote for Briscoe Kane? You're going to vote for Stan Stannard? You're going to vote for Sidney Siegel? You're going to vote for Jim Wright? Things like that. Let me tell you something. There's nothing more effective at getting people to turn out to go vote than getting a text from someone who says, you haven't voted yet, you got to go vote. And I know everybody in this room, you got 100 Republicans in your contact list and your phone. If everybody did that, we're going to turn out about 10,000 voters just in this room alone, and that's enough to win these elections. That's what we need. Your support makes the difference in the entire world. We're coming down to one single point. I know that there is a similar philosophy everybody in this room has. And that is ultimately our largest goal that we must achieve this election. We cannot allow these crazy people from California, from New York, or from other countries to come into our state and change our state and remove what we are as Texas. Our job is to keep Texas this election. We will not allow the takeover of Texas, but that requires every single person in this room to take ownership of making sure we turn out that vote. And when you do, we are going to, for one, keep Texas. For another, we are going to turn Harris County red. So thank you all. God bless you all. And God bless the great state of Texas.
We are going to have a photo line that's going to begin on this side. Please have your cell phones out and ready to go.